You gotta love those father-son bonding trips that Reed likes to go on. Learn a little something about the man. Some things a little bit more shocking than others. What is up, everybody? What is up? Matt Runner out here. Welcome back to Nephilim Entertainment, and you are watching my coverage of The Gifted, and this is episode 8, Threat of Extinction. So, begins with a nice little flashback to Mayo, London, and 1952, where we come across a couple who is enjoying the luxurious hotel room, nice, saving news clippings of a terrorizing group of siblings, nice, and they happen to be these siblings. Well, they're responsible for a bunch of terrorist acts spread throughout Europe. Oh, how could this lovely, nice little couple do that? I kind of find out they're mutants. Hold hands, and apparently everything goes to hell. Great. Fantastic. We appear here in present time, and Reed is still recovering from the revelation he had from last episode. Apparently, he found out that the group responsible for weaponizing mutants and turning their friend Pulse against them is none other than Trask Industries. And Daddy worked there. Go Daddy. Well, so Reed decides to ask John if he wants to go on a nice little outing. Way to go, bro trip. Awesome. Can't wait for this little road trip. Well, apparently Reed having daddy issues isn't the only issues in the group, because Lorna and Marcus are still fighting over Marcus going back to Carmen to be her little helper boy. Lorna's not happy. She's not happy one bit. She's even playing with knives now, which is a little bit scary. Hot, but yet scary at the same time. Like, I like it. I dig it. But Marcus doesn't. So, which, that wouldn't help that Lorna's pregnant. But anyway, yeah, so our couple is not doing so hot right now, which, let's be honest. Let's put this out there. It's Marcus's fault. I'm just going to put it out there. It's Marcus's fault. Because he was an idiot and decided he was going to lie to his current girlfriend. And she found out. Not good for you, Marcus. Nope. So, yeah, and whenever John confronts him about what's going on between him and Lorna, he wants to lie to John. Okay, look. It's one thing to lie to your girlfriend. Okay, that's a guy thing. Guys, some guys do that. Okay. You don't lie to the guy who's responsible for your safe and well-being. The guy who has let you into his home. The guy who gives you a job. You don't lie to him. He lies to John. Not a smart move. Do not lie to that guy. I mean, what are you thinking, Marcus? You're not. That's the problem. You're not thinking. So, John decides that before him and Reed can go on their nice little bro venture, that they need to go help some refugees at a local church. Okay, so they go to this church, they find some refugees. Well, they come across quite a few, actually, that I think are going to eventually have stories of their own. One particular girl approaches someone in the group, I think it's John, and says that she's a telepath and she was getting some creepy vibes from one person. Who? That girl over there. John approaches said girl. Well, she's a speedster. And by speedster, I mean she's running around real fast, punching people and karate kicking people and knocking people down and trying to hurt people, and that's just not good. No, it's not good whatsoever. So, with the help of Clarissa, Marcus, John is actually able to perform a sneak attack and knocks that girl out. Way to go, John. That's teamwork right there. Too bad you don't have Lorna to help, because, yeah, magnets always somehow save the day. But hey, so does portals. But apparently, the refugees now have to worry about an agent from Sentinel Services within the group. And look, I want to go ahead and point this out right now. If you're trying to create a secret super spy ring of mutants, don't tattoo them. Don't leave distinguishing marks to say, hey, here's a brand. I want everybody to know that you're part of this group. Even if you lie and say, no, I'm not. I'm a refugee like you guys. Tattoo says everything. Why do you do that? Why? So, with everything going on, they take the refugees and Speedster back to their super secret base. Well, while they're back there, the tensions between Lorna and Marcus are getting extremely and abnormally and uncomfortably high. Like everyone's starting to pick up on the whoa, guys. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Can we just take a breather, take a moment? What is going on here? Okay, look. When couples fight, everybody knows. You have to realize when you're part of a group of people, when couples fight, especially when you're like the main couple in focus, you affect everybody. Take your shit, work it out, come back, be copacetic. Don't bring this into. Clarissa has made a new friend. Apparently her name's Nora. Well, she is a mutant, of course, but she's got the blue face, so she stands out just a little bit. Kind of like Clarissa does. But I love what Clarissa says. She doesn't make her feel like an oddity. She doesn't even try to make her feel special. She basically tells her, hey, I feel sorry for these people. Why? Well, they don't look mutant. We do. She's like, you got the blue skin, I got the eyes, the pointy ears. Hey, they're rocking the mutant look. Girls, get it, girls? Go on, get it. Go on, get with your bad self, alright? Love it. And I love how she makes Nora feel special. So, obviously, Clarissa is really good with kids. Good trade in my book. I like you more already. So, we got a telepath who apparently is having a bonding experience with Kate. Possibility of her name being May. Well, apparently May was reading Kate's mind, with her permission, of course, and discovered something that we didn't exactly see coming, or at least I didn't at first, was the fact that Kate is actually scared that when all this blows over, that eventually Reed and the kids will be pitted against each other on opposite sides. Reed being a defense attorney, or a prosecuting attorney, and the kids being mutants. He's afraid that they're going to be on the opposite sides of the law. Didn't think about that until now, but yeah, that's actually kind of scary. Thanks, Kate. So, well, the boys are now gone. John and Reed are going on their adventure to try to track down their dad, or his dad. Well, while they're gone, Speedster's not talking literally. She is not talking, not giving up any information whatsoever. So Lorna's going to try a new tactic. Basically, she tells her, you may be fast, but you ain't got eyes in the back of your head. Pulls out some knives. Dances them around. Even Marcus is like, whoa, 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 what the hell are you doing? Good point. What are you doing? I'm scared. You're scaring me now. Girl, you need to back off. Whatever upset Marcus, it's your fault. You're the one that pissed her off. So now you got to deal with the crazy, and that's your fault, sir. You brought out the crazy in her. She's all cool, happy, had the, was sort of focusing on the mama bump, embracing the fact that she's going to be a mother, and you had to go and do something stupid to make her crazy. Great job, man. Great job. So, we find out what is up with Speedster. After doing some talking amongst themselves, they figure out that she is possibly hooked on a mutant drug called K. Basically, it's like heroin, but for mutants. It enhances their abilities, but at the same time, it makes them very addicted and very dependent on said drugs. Withdrawals are a bitch, apparently. They put them in pain, make them feel a little, and for people like Speedster Girl, can't talk, can't function. Only thing she can think about and seem to revolve around is the fact that she wants this drug. So hopefully that is not a big issue with everybody else, but hey, It's not a good sign. Well, we've also found out, what they're talking, that Clarissa and Nora are actually from the same foster home. And when Clarissa was sick, she kept on making a portal appear on that road where the foster home was at. Well, that in turn led the Sentinel Services down that road, which in turn led them to the house, and the house is where the foster family was at, along with Nora. Well, Nora had to witness the family get killed by Sentinel Services, and since then, she's had nightmares. And they've actually kept her awake, and they've actually really traumatized the poor little girl. And my heart goes out to her, because whether she be fictitious or not, any little girl who is suffering from things like that breaks my heart. So my sympathies are full with you, Nora, and I hope the nightmares will someday end. Well, we finally get to meet Daddy, Otto Strucker, and he is a prick. Right out the bat, that's all I can say about the dude. He is a prick. He acts cold towards his son, and while, yes, he is talking about the grandchildren, he acts like their mutant abilities are some god-awful, horrible thing. The hell is your problem, dude? I mean, come on. What is your problem? Well, we're also bouncing back between that and the group, and we're finding out that old girl Speedster is dying. Apparently, her withdrawals from cake are a little too much for her to handle, and she is starting to slowly dwindle away. She can't physically talk, no form of communication. What is the girl going to do? Well, then we bounce back to Otto, and we get a nice little history. Great, story time. Well, just tell us about how we did things back in the old day, old man. Let's sit down. Okay. Picture of a young man and a young woman. That's the couple we saw at the flashback back in 1950. Oh, that's your daddy? That's your daddy. You're a what? You're a mutant? You're a mutant? Otto is a mutant? What? It's okay. Alright. Big discovery. Big discovery. Alright, apparently Otto's family has an inherited mutant trait that is very destructive. When the two opposing powers, which apparently is the force field meets the telekinetic or telekinesis kind of rip things apart power, hold hands together, they basically create an atomic explosion type thing. Or at least an explosion. I don't know if it's atomic, but it's an explosion nevertheless. And apparently Otto is a mutant who has this power. Well, he goes to Trask Industries to try to get rid of said power. He couldn't get rid of his power. But he can save one mutant whose power has not yet developed yet. Who is that mutant? His son. Reed is a mutant? Whoa. What? Okay, first of all, we found out the kids were mutants. We found out Grandpa was a mutant. Now, Reed is a possibility of he could have been a mutant, but he's not anymore. He was cured. I'm not buying that. If one thing I learned about anything in X-Men, anything in this universe, is that there's no such thing as a cured mutant. It's genetics. It's what makes you up. Eventually, you might be able to hinder it, but eventually it comes out. And with full force, and with vengeance. So we find out Reed is a possibility of being a mutant. We also find out that Andy and Lorna have inherited the same traits as Otto's grandfather and apparently inherited. The ability to hold hands and cause hell, more or less. So, okay, so, yeah, well, I'm thinking that Andy and Lorna aren't that close. They're not going to go on a hell-raising spree at this point. No, well, Back at the Mutant Underground headquarters, or Mutant headquarters, as I like to call it, with Speedster Girl there, most of the refugees are not comfortable with the idea. So Lorna tells them, no, back off. We're going to do things our way. We're going to figure this out. People are getting up in their face about this. Andy steps up and pulls the macho act. You got something to say, you say it to me. You got a problem with my sister, you say it to me. And everybody's ready to buck up and like tell this little scrawny kid, you know what I think? Tables start shaking. Dishes start shaking. Everything's starting to tremor. Oh, that's him doing this? My bad. We're cool. We're cool. No need, no, just calm down. No need to get upset. I take back the thing about Lorna. I don't know who I should be more worried about, the little bitty kid, Andy, or the crazy pregnant chick. Is there any way I can go to Cinema Services? It might be safer at this point. You. Well, we find out. Well, May comes to the rescue, and we find out Speedster's girl. Her name is Chloe. Chloe actually was a mother and a wife. They would not give the prescription meds for her family. Somebody was very sick. So she snaps, starts destroying things. Signal services come and arrest her. Well, they put her in services apparently. Got her hooked on cake. And she's actually very sorrowful for what she did. Great. So you want absolution. Okay, you are forgiven. Well, while this is going on, none other than Campbell shows up to Otto's place. Apparently, he does not believe that Otto does not know where his son is. Hey, you're right. Now, well, he comes and he brings Pulse. And look, Campbell, to me, he seemed like the bastard that you're going to be glad he's dead. He brings Pulse, much to John's dismay. Well, Otto tells him, you stay up here where it's safe, I'll take care of this. He keeps implying that our abilities are different in this family. Well, as he goes downstairs to meet this group of people, they have their, little banter back and forth, battle wits and whatnot. Well, Otto's informed by Campbell that, hey, we're gonna do a search of this place. We're gonna turn over every stone and find out what we can see here. Otto's like, nah, nope. So he, much to Pulse's dismay, who apparently we thought had the ability to short out every mutant's powers, he pulls out his power. Otto pulls out his power and he creates a nice little energy ball in his hand. And he gets shot in the process, which, dude, if you're going to reveal your Kamehameha, you might want to take a few minutes to charge it up when there's not people pointing guns at you. But he's able to let loose the beast, as it were, and he causes a massive destruction to the front of his shop. Campbell runs off with his tail between his legs. Pulse is laying on the ground. Everyone else is just scattered. John and Reed come down there to try to investigate what's going on. Well, Pulse and Otto die in the explosion. Otto was shot. Pulse died from the mere force of the explosion, which it snapped him out long enough to tell John he was sorry for everything he did. John swears vengeance on Pulse's death. So, with that happening, I think John now is going to go on a killing spree because first of all, you don't mess with a Marine. He's an ex-Marine. No such thing as an ex-Marine. He is a Marine. He is also a mutant. And he's got a lot of built-up anger. And a lot of built-up anger that I don't think we need to see. We don't need to be on the receiving end of John's problem. Just saying. So, with their deaths, everything's just starting to fall. I mean, Reed and John both look devastated for that. They give him a nice little burial, sort of giving their final goodbyes to the two fallen gentlemen. all thanks to Campbell. And back at the mutant headquarters, while May is reading Cleo's mind, she also discovers some visions about Trask Industries and sees visions of Turner and Campbell and everything that's going on at this point with everything. And Cleo also passes away. So that's 3 deaths in 1 episode. Not looking good for the cast. None whatsoever. Well, prior to this, Clarissa and Dreamer have been at odds, especially with Dreamer playing Memories in Clarissa. Well, Clarissa actually comes to her begging her for help. Nora's having nightmares, and she feels responsible, which technically she is. She feels responsible. She asks Dreamer, hey, can you help me out with this problem? Can you remove these dreams and these nightmares from Nora? Okay, that is another bonus point for Clarissa in my book. Girl got some love for those kids. I love that about her. That's awesome chick. And the episode ends with everybody sort of patching things up. Lorna and Marcus sort of made things up. They sort of kissed and made up. Reed sort of greets the kids and Kate, much to his dismay, much to his pain and suffering. He's actually went to his family for comfort. And the episode ends with Andy and Lorna holding hands, which to me, whoa, don't touch each other. What? Don't touch each other. Why? Grandpa said not to touch each other, so don't touch each other. I want you over here. I want you over here. Don't touch each other. Why? It could cause explosions. All right, up next for The Gifted. All right, apparently the big thing they're talking about is an attack. They're going to launch an attack. Apparently they're going to go after Trask Industries, which I don't know if that is the smart plan. I don't know if it's a smart move. They're going to end up losing people at this point. But at the same time, I got a feeling John's going to be out for blood, especially with the death of his best friend. Not just once, but twice. This is the second time that he's watched his friend die. So I got a feeling, like I said, John's going to be out for blood. Reed probably will in some fact, and especially with the fact that he wants to protect his kids. Kate, I can see on the fence. Marcus, Lorna, they're always ready for a fight. They're always ready to throw it down. At some point, they're going to be ready to throw down. Carissa definitely is going to be thrown down, especially with the guilt of her foster family's death on her conscience, not to mention her new sort of adopted family, Nora. Yeah, that's going to paint the whole group sort of blood red. So, all right. So let me know what you think about this episode. And my question for y'all. Go ahead and put this poll up here. Do you think Reed still has his mutant abilities? Do you think they're locked away? Do you think they're stashed away? Or do you think they're actually gone? Do you think Otto succeeded in making the suppressor? What do you guys think down below? Let me know down at the comments below. Give me a big thumbs up for this page. And make sure to subscribe. And stay tuned to the end of the episode for more content. But my name is Matt Tronier, and you're watching Nephilim Entertainment. To all you daydreamers and critters out there, keep your heads in the clouds. Peace.